Hey everybody, it's Jay Kitchen from jaysbeard.com. I hope we're doing really well today. We're going to be doing another one of our reviews of a scent that purportedly represents a cannabis scent, or at least the idea of a cannabis scent. This is something called Purple Haze from 1969 Fragrances. Before we jump into the review, if you would be kind enough to smash the subscribe button, if you're so inclined, hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell. Doing any one of those three things really helps us get noticed by the algorithm and put in other people's suggested video columns, that sort of thing. It really helps get more eyes on our content, and we really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Purple Haze, renowned name, renowned strain, renowned tune, renowned drug, all of those things. Jimi Hendrix made it pretty popular in his song Purple Haze, and a lot of people took LSD that was called Purple Haze back in the day. There is a cannabis strain called Purple Haze. Purple Haze is deeply rooted in the counterculture rising from the 1960s. The gentleman behind the house of 1969 had this to say about his experience with Purple Haze. It is evocative of the Woodstock Music and Arts Fair in 1969, as well as Lennon and Ono's staged Bed-ins for Peace in Montreal and Amsterdam, also in 1969. On a personal note, the perfume reflects the legendary artist Keenak, the gentleman who runs this house of 1969, met in Bahama Village, Key West. Guitar on his back, snakeskin boots, skinny jeans, and long hair. The fragrance Purple Haze is a tribute to creativity, freedom, and indulgence, and sets the ambiance for 1969. The scent is deep, powerful, quirky, and captivating. The top notes: Italian bergamot, Corsican cypress, cannabis accord. Along with Ravensara and Cyst. The mid notes: Palmarosa, thyme, gurjum, and violet leaf. Base notes: vanilla, patchouli, black pepper, white musk, and dry woods. There is a whole little backstory narrative that the owner of the perfume house talks about on the website. We kind of copied it and pasted it down below so you can check it out. I sprayed 2 sprays each right about here on both arms about 3-4 hours ago. The scent has faded. It's still something there, but it's certainly not as strong as it was 3 hours ago, or even 2 hours ago. We're going to spray it again so we can get the fresh blast and really give you an idea of what we're smelling here, so you know what you're getting into if you're contemplating purchasing this scent. We picked up our decant from Scent Split, and we're going to do this again. And we'll do just one in the room, just for the heck of it. Let the alcohol kind of evaporate. Fly, baby, fly. There is a real deep patchouli aspect to this scent. And a lot of people don't like patchouli. This does not necessarily smell like a head shop's patchouli. Right. It may smell like your party aunt, who used to be the lady who everybody else in the family said, stay away from her, and that was the person who you really wanted to hang out with. It's a combination. There's some incense going on, there's some cedar wood, there's some pine. There is that strong kind of patchouli-esque. It's not, it doesn't smack you over the head like that classic sweet cloying patchouli. It's definitely green and vegetal. Again, this does not really smell like cannabis to my olfactory senses. As we've said about other scents from 1969 house, they're more representative of the idea of cannabis There purportedly is some cannabis in this. I'm not really picking that up. I'm definitely picking up that green vegetal sort of scent, but with that patchouli, it sweetens it up a little bit. And this is not something that I immediately dislike or like one way or the other. It is unique and a little bit, I hate to use the word strange, but it's definitely different. Fragrantica notes the following main accords: woody, aromatic, fresh, spicy, green, patchouli, warm, spicy, cannabis, ozonic, earthy, and vanilla. You definitely get some cypress as opposed to what I said earlier about cedar. It's definitely more of a cypressy kind of scent. I don't dislike it. Like I said earlier, it's an interesting kind of throwback smell. It's not something that I would run out and buy, but I wouldn't say don't get it necessarily. It is unique. It does sort of remind one of that sort of hippie, and I use the word hippie, you know, in quotation marks, that sort of countercultural kind of vibe. You may walk into a shop that sells Tibetan headdresses or tapestries or things like that, and this might be what you might smell sort of in the background, the incense coming around, that sort of thing. A little bit mystical. This is the kind of scent that you might imagine your parents, or most likely your grandparents, wearing back in the day, or just kind of smelling like. This, the guy who inspired this sort of backstory behind this was a musician down in Key West who was a bit of a funky character, according to the notes, which I reproduced down below. It does have a very sort of unique smell to it. The patchouli is definitely there, so you're going to be smelling that. Again, the length, the duration of this, 4 sprays, it lasts about 3-4 hours. This is not a scent you want to overspray because it's definitely going to raise some eyebrows amongst some folks. It doesn't turn me off, but it's not something I'm going to run out and pick up or even put on a wish list. It's definitely evocative of cannabis and youth culture from the 60s and early 70s, which is nice and has its place, but it's not for me. Again, it's not gross or anything like that. It's just not for me, and I'm not really picking up the weed vibe or the weed stink, which most people really don't want. They don't want to smell like weed unless they're smoking, and even then they don't want to, particularly if you're living in a prohibition jurisdiction. If you're interested in something like this, patchouli heavy, but not that sickening sweet patchouli, more of the flower, herbal kind of patchouli scent, more sophisticated, you may want to check this out. Get a decant at Scent Split or some other similar sort of establishment. The price point on this is around $200 for 100 mLs. It's not horrible. As I was saying, it's more herbal smelling, and maybe that's why they're calling it Purple Haze, because it definitely is herbal, but not herbal like you're smoking something. If you liked the review, please smash that thumbs up button. If you didn't, please hit the thumbs down button. Let us know what you think about this or any other scent that we have reviewed or that we should review. In the meantime, be kind to fellow human beings and their pets. Stay lifted, stay smelling awesome, stay well groomed, and we will catch you on the next review. Cheers, everybody. We love you.